Hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm the CEO of Carpets for Communities. I've been in Cambodia for 7 months and I've been loving it. Before working at Carpets for Communities, I was lucky enough to work at the National Committee for UN Women Australia and at the Australian Institute of International Affairs ACT branch. The first thing that really drew me to Carpets for Communities was that it was a very small, local, grassroots NGO that was driven 100% by volunteers. I really like that I can be in Cambodia and every day I can see the tangible effect that we're having on families' lives. We work with up to 40 families and we know all of them, we've met all of them, and we can really see the difference that we are making in their lives. Obviously, managing the team here in Cambodia is my #1 task, so we have a mixed office of expats and local staff here. So that takes up most of my time. I also build partnerships with NGOs and businesses here in Cambodia as well as in Australia. So it's about bridging that gap between our operations in Cambodia and our volunteer base in Australia, which really drive our program. I also look at policies and organisational structures that really are going to enhance the sustainability of Carpets for Communities longer term after we've all left. Working in a multicultural office in Cambodia is fantastic. We have 5 different countries represented in our office and it's great. Obviously it's not without challenges, having English as second language speakers and then some that are first language speakers. We need to bridge that communication gap often. The hardest thing is managing and supporting our volunteer base in Australia. Volunteers are the backbone and the drivers of CFC, and without them we couldn't do any of the work that we do here in Cambodia. I think the hardest thing for us is being able to support them and show them how much we really appreciate them while having, the thousands of miles that separate us. I wouldn't say I've had negative experiences working for Carpets for Communities. I've had a lot of setbacks and a lot of challenges working for Carpets for Communities. Obviously working in a developing country, there's a lot of cultural differences. Parents want to send their kids off to work at 12 and they don't want to invest in education and they could just pay for their education with a bribe to the Ministry of Education. Those are obviously challenges that arise in Carpets, and obviously having our volunteer base in Australia, I try and manage going back to Australia twice a year and being in Cambodia. So obviously when I'm in Cambodia, the volunteers in Australia really suffer. When I'm in Australia, I probably don't nurture my team in Cambodia enough. But I wouldn't say I've had any negative experiences. I've loved being in Cambodia, I've loved my time with Carpets, and at the moment I can't imagine doing anything else. My #1 recommendation is just believe in the skills that you've got. You wouldn't be a CEO and you wouldn't get a management position if the board and the governance structures didn't really believe that you could do it. I think when I first got to Cambodia, I was so conscious of my age and making sure that I lived up to everyone else's expectations that I didn't trust in the ability. And being here now for 7 months, I realised it's not about age. It's about where you've come from and the experiences and the jobs that you've done in the past and the skills that you've learned, and bringing that to the table and forgetting about the age or whether you're female or male or if you're 22 or 28 or 50. It doesn't matter. It's all about how you come with a positive attitude and really trusting in the reason you've got the job and the skills that you've got.